So this is me configuring this gaming custom PC for research purposes. As you can see, I've just inserted the power supply. There's the one screw in, there's another screw, there's another one, and there's another one. And as you can see here, this is what the box looks like. It's a Thunder RGB RX 735 AP, and this boosts up to 735 watt. As you can see there, that's the specs, the specifications, and it's a RAID max, and it has a 80 plus bronze, which means it can push up to 80% of its power. This is a custom cage. It's your known common name, your Redragon, and as you can see here, there's all the cables, so the internal case. These are all cables that needs to be configured when we have to insert the motherboard. There's your standoffs, as you can see there, all the standoffs, and those are there for the motherboard when we insert the motherboard. And you can see here at the bottom, this would be all the cables coming from the top case, and you can see here on top, this is what it looks like. So that is your buttons. There you have your speaker button, you have your microphone button, you have your hard drive and your power LED LEDs, your LEDs. Then you have your USB connector. There's also a USB-C connector, and also a Type-C, yes, and also a reset button with your RGB lights right here. This is the switch for the RGB, and if you connect it later, you will see that at the front here. This is what the front looks like. That is your Redragon RGB fans. So later on, when you connect that, we will connect the power supply. As you can see here, this is the CPU connectors power, and that is your normal ATX motherboard power connector. Okay, so let's look at the power supply. Power supply is a Thunder RGB 735 watt, and you can see there it's MSI Aurora Asus Aurora Sync light, so that's LED. These are the connectors. You have your RGB connector, floppy pins, your peripheral pins, SATA, and you can see there is 4 PCI Express 6+2 pins, that's for your graphics card. Then you have your CPU +4 pins, which is 8, and then you have your motherboard 20+4 pins, which is only 1. And you can see that's the box of the power supply. Right, so let's look inside. So we have these pins. Here's your PCI Express pin. This is the type of connector for your graphics card. You also have your let's see, this is your SATA power cable, your Molex, and this connects also. Then you have another cable, which is your SATA cables, and you have another PCI Express cable, so you have 2 of that, and you have another SATA cable. So these are your cables that you get. Why this looks like this is this type of power supply is a modular power supply, which means that if I had to show you the box, that is how the connector of the PCI Express connects. As you can see there, this is the bottom. As you can see, it says optimize, and it's modularized cable design, easy cable management, and improve airflow inside the case. And that's what it looks like. That means that if you don't need these cables, you don't need to plug them in. So it's for easy airflow. Thank you. Yep. I was going to show you how do you connect this fan controller, and a lot of people don't know about this. So this fan controller basically controls your RGB fans. Simple, right? And if you can look at this, you have your fan 1, and then your fan 1 goes up to fan 5, and then on the other side you also have fan 6 till fan 10. So you can connect up to 10 different fans. You also have your, just zoom in a bit, you have your switch there connected, that goes in there. You have your power connector as the power, and then you have your mainboard connector. And then on your left hand side, on this side, we have your LEDs, and those 2 goes in there. So as you can see here, these are our fan connectors. We've got one coming from our power supply, which we'll see if we need to use that. And then we have these three coming from the fans, which is these ones that we will now demonstrate and plug into this fan controller. Right, so you've successfully now plugged in our fan cables coming from our three fans there right in front. And just to show you that our fan controller also connects to a Molex connector, which we connected to our power supply, and that will supply its power. Alright, go. Okay, welcome to the unboxing of the MPG X570 Gaming Plus AMD motherboard. Lightning Gen 4. So this has a Gen 4, which we think it could be the future, because that means that when you have to upgrade, you don't need to change the motherboard, so your PCI Express should be Gen 4 ready. Right, so let's show you what's the contents of this box. Right, so I've already taken out the motherboard, we'll get to that now. So obviously you have your back panel, which would go with the motherboard. You get SATA cables as well. You also have this whole shield that protects your M.2 card for your hard drive, sorry, yeah. Right, and then you have your stickers that you get the MSI CD, and then you have this, which is a standoff notification. Now this notification prevents you from installing your standoffs. If you look at the back of your motherboard, you will see this exact locations. That's just to prevent you from putting screws there, so you don't damage the motherboard. Right, let's move on to the motherboard. Right, motherboard. Right, you get the motherboard manual. As everybody normally gets this. This is a book that gives you all the connections, where all the connections should go, LED connections, and then this is your motherboard, right? So as you can see, this is the X570, right? It's ATX motherboard. If I zoom in, you will see that there is a lot of jumper connections. There's different fan connections, so you can go and add more fans. You also have your USB fans, USB connectors. You also have this heatsink there, which is your chipset, right? And that is just to cool your CPU and your board and everything, all the components on your board. You also have your RAM slots here, as you can see there. And there's your power supply input switch. And then these are all your USB, if I can zoom out, USB connectors. No, sorry, my bad, it's your SATA connectors, right? So there's your SATA. And then you can see there's your CPU slot, where everything goes in, like your AMD CPU. And then this is your back panel. We can see all your connectors goes in there, right? So this is your motherboard. Right, looks nice. This motherboard also has a lot of features. I'll show you soon that it comes with, and just gives you more information about the motherboard. So we're looking at this board, we would say that it has a core boost, right? It has 2 times CPU power, which is 45 amps to 540 watts maximum power delivery. It has the Lightning Gen 4 PCI slot for your graphics card, up to 64 gigabits per second. It's Lightning Gen 4 M.2, right? And then it has your AMD Turbo USB for faster speed. It also comes with a Mystic light, which is you can add some LED effects. It's DIY friendly, frozen heatsink design, and it has a shield for your M.2 card. And there's the back panel. So this is what your box looks like. Audio don't matter because I will pre-record this. So this is the Ryzen CPU. Insert it into the motherboard. Now we're gonna close, make sure everything is tightened, everything is firmly in, not too loud, and you can see there's the point where it's supposed to make contact. And now you use the lever and you just close it. Done. That's the hardest part done. Next thing is putting on the fan. Right, so the fan already has thermal paste applied to it, because this is a wrath cooler, so it comes with thermal paste. So we're going to put this fan, AMD fan, now onto the CPU. And now we've got our fan secured. You can see here's the fan cable. Zoom in. Here's the fan cable. CPU has been mounted, it's steady, it's hooked and everything, and that's how it looks. Okay, everything is fine, CPU secured, it's all secured. Input, one is for RGB, goes into the motherboard, the other one is a normal USB cable that you can. So this is me showing you the complete case of the Redragon 735 watt voltage power supply, and then the board. And now we're gonna power it on. You can see the RAM has been put in, 8 gig module, DDR4, and also the SD card, which the SD card M.2 protector. So now we're gonna do the magic. That's what it looks like. Rainbow colors. Now we're gonna go to the board, and you can see there's the Redragon controller, and there's your RAM, which is XPC, which is also water cooled, and then you have your CPU, and that's the rest of the board. Right, so that's what it looks like. Okay, we didn't power the power supply. We can do that in the next step. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And you can see there's the LED sensor. And it clearly states that if you look at the manual, that is because it's missing the monitor, but there's no display present. Right, thank you.